Hello, Mrs. Miller's class. This is Mandy. I'm back from India now, and I'm living in London. I had a great time in India. I was there for about 8 months and learned a lot about lots of different cultural things, but also made a point of asking people about the ways that they use different energy sources, including petroleum and diesel, and several others that I didn't even know about. So I'm going to show you now some videos that I made with some friends. One of them is a rickshaw driver. His name is Dilip, and he was on the grounds maintenance staff at the institution where I was working. So Dilip is going to tell us about the rickshaw he drives and the kind of fuel that he uses.
Dilip bhai, show starting.
Start. Hey Bhagwan.
કેટલાનો આવે
28 रुपया
28 રૂપિયાનો કેટલો
किलो
1 કિલો
28 rupees 1 kg.
28 rupees for 1 kilo.
for 1 kg
And how long does that last? Like
एवरेज के लिए आप
45 50 45 50
45 50
45, 50 kilometers?
Yeah.
Wow. And how many kilometers does he do in 1 week?
એક વીકમાં તમે કેટલું ફરી લેતા
એવું કશું ઠેકાણું નહીં યાર
લગભગ
તો
કેટલું
આશરે
આશરે?
500 કિલોમીટરે ફરે 1000 કિલોમીટરે
it's not fixed but
મહિનાનું કમાવાનું ફિક્સ છે
huh
અઠવાડિયે કમાવાનું
When was the change? Because now it is compressed natural gas.
આ ક્યારથી આવ્યું CNG
જલ્દી લગભગ 2 વર્ષથી
So that's Dilip and his auto rickshaw. People also get around in India by trains and by buses, and public transport is used a lot. But people, of course, have their own means of transportation. They have cars, bicycles, motorbikes. So let's take a look at some of those.
Hi, my name is Heej.
Okay.
Okay, this is working with electricity. It is giving an average of around 60 to 40 kilometers, 40 in the city and 60 if it's outside. And it's costing around 40,000. And
Okay.
you have to charge maybe after 4 or 5 days. Depends on how much you work.
And how much are you, 4 or 5 days, and how much do you think you ride it each day?
Each day it's not sure, but 60 kilometers must be in 5 days.
Okay.
5 days.
So about
And
60 kilometers, then you have to
yeah,
recharge.
then I have to charge with the it's working with electricity completely, so no petrol and you don't need anything, so it's very easy comparative.
Okay.
Petrol is very costly, so it's much better.
What is the price of petrol here?
Prices, petrol and
petrol price
petrol is
43 rupees
43 rupees a liter.
43 to 45 I think.
Okay.
Wow, so they pay a lot for petrol in India. In the US, we pay about $3.78. That's not an unusual price to pay for petrol. But what I found when I lived in India was that in general, people earn about 10 times less than we do in the West, and things cost about 10 times less as well. So people aren't that badly off, but compared to us, they have a lot less money. But if petrol's $3.78 a gallon, that's costing them a fortune. No wonder people want to drive electric mopeds. My friend Rahil, though, he really enjoys his motorbike. Let's hear from him.
hi this is Rahul. This is my bike. It's Pulsar 200. It costs around 76,000 rupees, and it's a little bit costly in India, and it has tubeless tires. It's 200cc engine, and its average is 40 kilometers per liter, and maximum speed is 125 kilometer per hour.
125 kilometers per hour. Okay. And it runs on petroleum.
Petroleum.
And you like riding this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also.
Yeah, and Mandy too.
Great.
So finally, let's hear from my friend Hardik, who drives an SUV.
Hi, I'm Hardik. We use this car usually, so there are 2 versions in cars available. Generally, one is petrol, the other one is the diesel version. I usually use the SUVs. because I need some load bearing capacity into it, the toughness of the car, the sustenance on the road, etc. etc. We've got the right hand side steerings in all the cars over here because we have a left hand driving system. This car gives me an mileage say about for 13 kilometers a liter of diesel. Easy to drive, better for me. Usually we have fiber models also.
Okay. And what is the cost of a vehicle like this here?
This vehicle would cost around say 7 lakh rupees.
Great. All right. Thank you, Hardik, for showing us your car.
Well, I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea about the way that young people get around in India. As I said, they do use trains and buses a lot. In fact, the trains are really great because you can sleep in them overnight and they actually pull out into little beds and it's really inexpensive. And then as you heard from some of my friends, it's really not very expensive to buy these vehicles, but the cost of petrol is quite high in comparison. So if you think about the cost of an SUV being $14,000, but then the cost of petrol is nearly $4 a gallon, you can see that things in India are quite a lot less expensive, except for in the case of petrol. And when I was living there, mostly I got around by rickshaw, but sometimes on the back of other people's bikes and occasionally by car. I did take quite a few train journeys, and that was really fun as well. There are other sources of energy that are used. In particular, there are 4 nuclear power plants, and you might want to look up a little bit of information about nuclear power in India, because there was a recent agreement between the United States and India allowing India to develop its nuclear power technologies. They've been prevented from doing that because of fears of nuclear weapons. But India has a good relationship with the United States and with the West, and so now there has been a treaty that will allow them to develop this technology. And in fact, there is a nuclear power plant in the region I was staying in, one of 4 power plants. So that's a new source of energy that India is developing, and most of their electricity currently comes from coal plants. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this project, and I hope to meet some of you in the future. Take care. Bye.